This is Zachary giving a report. Zachary, what is your report about?
When did flowering plants appear? So, flowering plants are scientifically known as angiosperms. They arrived during the Cretaceous period. Right here, you can see there's a dinosaur right here. But scientists don't actually know when they first appeared. There's they evolved from gymnosperms, which are the oldest seed-bearing plants, and the gymnosperms, they they used seeds to reproduce, and their ancestors. An example of one of their ancestors are the pine cones of today's plants, and the angiosperms came out, and they got to have flowers, and they helped a lot of animals to live today because the insects, they feed off the nectar, and there was herbivores that ate the plants, like the Triceratops right there. The dinosaurs, they're extinct, of course, but there's other animals today that eat plants. And there's 3 examples of primitive flowering plants right here. And the first ginkgo plants, they fanned out a shoot that shot out a seed through the land and would grow a new plant. And there was 250,000 species of flowering plants. We covered the whole world. And then fossils, people discovered fossils of them, which meant that the whole world used to be covered with flowering plants. But 200,000 of them are still alive today. Some of them died out. And last thing I want to tell you is that these are 2 examples of a primitive plant and a modern day plant. The modern day plant, not really much different from the primitive times, because they reproduce with seeds. But the only difference is the primitive ones had there's things called pistils, and they have many pistils, but then the modern day ones have very few, or just one of them. And that is all I have to say.
Thank you, Zachary. Let's acknowledge him. You taught us a lot. Good job. Now we'll take 3 questions. Now he knows some about this report, but does he know everything? No. So if he doesn't know, he'll just say, that I don't know, but you could learn it. So your first person, who are you going to call on?
Shay.
How did the plants grow? Did they grow from the seed?
Yes, they grew from the seed.
How did they get watered?
It would rain sometimes.
Okay, 1 question per person. 2 more people.
Hear me?
How did they get?
So what? I didn't.
How did they get?
How did they appear?
That's a good question. Well-
did they just fall from the sky?
No, they didn't just fall from the sky. That would have been awesome, but no. They, I don't know exactly, but I think that there's algae is appeared. There's a time when there was no plants around, and then they started to develop. And
That's a whole nother study, isn't it? He's postulating. We can all postulate. That means think in our brain and think, I wonder how that did happen. And we'd have to study it to see if it's correct. One more question.
no how?
That looks like a spider.
Oh, that one looks like a spider.
No, the other one.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess that's not exactly a question. Do you have a question about that? Because this is a time for questions. So one more question. No comments, only questions.
Skylar.
How did the flowering plants get pistils?
Well, that well, I think they just developed them.
That is a good question. He may or may not know. Do you know? It's okay. We don't know everything. A report tells us some things, but it doesn't always tell us everything. So we invite you to find out. If he doesn't know, that could be something you would study. Thank you, Zachary. Go ahead.
History is kind of difficult, and we don't exactly know what really happened back then.
But we can get scientific evidence, like in fossils, that we can measure, huh?
Yes.
Good job. Thank you, Zachary.